Chapter 1. The Juggler. A long time ago, a man called lived in a town by the sea in Scotland. He and his wife Catriona lived happily in a small white house. H was a fisherman and he went out to sea in his boat every day. He usually caught a lot of fish. Andina sold them at the fish market one day. Hamish was out at sea. It was late in the afternoon and it wasted time to go home. He started pulling his net out off the water. The net is very heavy today. Hathaply lots of fish when he pulled the net onto his boat. He saw a wooden box was very surprised. He opened the wooden box and found a little baby boy inside. Oh, a baby boy. He cried, "This is wonderful. We don't have any children and Catriona will be very happy. She loves babies." He went back home and showed Catriona the baby boy. Oh, he is. What good luck," said Catriona happily. "What a good look, baby. We must keep this child and look after him. Let's call him Callum." "Yes," said Hamish. "I like the name Callum. He's our sono. We'll look after him and give him our love and teach him to fish." Callum grew up and was a kin-friendly boy. He loved H and Catriona, and they loved him a lot too. H taught him to fish, and he learned quickly. They went out in the boat together every day, but not on Sundays. On Sundays, Hamish worked in Negerton, and Callum went to the port to look at the sailing ships. When Callum was 17, a big sailing ship arrived in Thepard of the town. It was a beautiful sailing ship. The sails were new and white, and the masts were golden. A tall, good-looking man stood on the deck. He had dark hair and dark eyes, and he was wearing a beautiful black suit. He had balls with spikes and hishans. He was juggling the balls very fast without hurting his hands on the spikes. Callum watched the juggler with great interest. Then the juggler got off the ship and continued juggling the balls in terror. "Do you like juggling?" Callum asked the juggler. Callum was surprised that the juggler knew his name. "Oh yes," Callum said, "it's wonderful. Do you want to become a juggler too?" "Yes, I do," said Callum, smiling at the juggler. "I want to learn how to juggle those balls. It must be difficult." "Very well," said the juggler. "Take me to your prince. I want to talk to him." Callum took the juggler to his little house by the sea. "Father, mother," said Callum, "this man wants to talk to you." H and Catriona were happy to meet the juggler we love. Callum dearly said, "H, I found him at sea when he was Ababy at sea." Asked the juggler. He was suddenly very interested in Callum. "If H found him at sea, then Callum is a fairy child, a magical child," thought the juggler. "Give me your son for a year and a day," said the clever wizard, "and I will teach him how to juggle. Then when he comes back home, he can be a juggler. Jugglers make more money than fishermen." Hush and Catriona looked at each other. They did not know what to do. "We must do what is best for our son," said Catriona, looking at Callum. "Do you want to be a juggler or good?" "Juggler?" Callum asked. H. "Yes, father, I do," said Callum. "Very well," said H. "You can go away for a year and a day, and when you come back you will be a good juggler. Is that right, sir?" He looked at the juggler's dark eyes. "That's right," said the wizard. "Your son will become a great juggler and he'll make a lot of money. I'll teach him a lot of things." Callum said goodbye to his parents and left his home with the juggler for a year and a day. Callum sailed everywhere on the beautiful sailings. He saw a lot of new and interesting places and he learned all about juggling. Chapter 2. The 14 Pigeons. After a year and a day, the juggler brought Callum back to his home in Scotland. Callum was now an excellent juggler. He could juggle 7 spike balls and he never hurt his hands with the spikes. H and Catriona were very happy when Callum arrived. They thanked the juggler. "Now your son is a good juggler," said them on. "If he stays with me for another year and a day, he will become the best juggler in the world." "How wonderful," said H.S. "Callum can go with you again." Callum left for another year and a day, but at the end of that time, he did not return to his home. H and Catriona were worried. They went to the port to look for the beautiful sailing ship, but it was not there. They asked a lot of people, but no one knew anything about Callum or the juggler. Catriona said, "Sadly, I must go and find Callum. Please be careful," H.A. said his wife, "and bring Callum home quickly." "Don't worry, dear," said Hutch, kissing his wife on the cheek. Poor H did not know where to look for his son. He walked through the forests, up the hills and mountains, and crossed a lot of rivers, but he did not find Callum. One night, Hamish was very tired and hungry. He saw a little old house in the forest. There was a light in the window. "Perhaps the person in this house can help me," thought H. "Hello," said H. "Is anyone home?" A very old, kind wizard opened the door. He had bright blue eyes and a kind smile. "Welcome to my home. Please come in," said the friendly old man. "You must be very tired. Sit down," and dressed. H sat down near the fire. The old man gave him some hot tea, bread and butter. Hush ate the bread and butter and drank the hot tea. After eating, he felt better and told the old man about his long journey. The old man listened carefully and was suddenly sad. "Your son's in the hands of the evil king of the wizards," he said. "Everyone here knows About the wizard and his terrible magic, but don't worry, I'll help you. You must rest now and we'll talk about it tomorrow morning. He gave H.A. a warm red blanket and he fell asleep near that fire early the next morning. The old man gave H.H. some breakfast then. He said, today you must go to the king of the wizards. He lived in a dark castle on a high hill. When you get there, you must talk to the king immediately. Tell him you want your son. The king will take you to his tower where there are 14 pigeons. The king has magic powers and can change a person into a pigeon. If you recognize your son, you can't take him home with you. But how will I recognize my son? Asked Poor. Pigeons all look the same. Remember, this Callum is the pigeon with a tiny black feather on its head. Said the old man. Look at all the pigeons slowly and carefully, then choose that one, and you'll have your son again. You're a good friend, said. Achtav, kind old man, thank you for your help. I'll always remember you. Good luck to you, H.A., said the old man. Acha. Followed the old man's instructions. He crossed a dark forest and a big river, and then started walking up a high hill. The wizard's dark castle was on top of the hill. There were a lot of towers all around it. The sky was dark and cloudy, and suddenly the wind started blowing. What an ugly place, thought, looking at the castle and its towers. My son is in one of those towers. He got to a black wooden door, hearing a big bell, and waited. After a few minutes, a man opened a theater. I want to see the king of the wizards. Sidhh. In a moment, the juggler in the black suit was standing at the door of the castle. Hamish was scared when he saw Thievel Wiz chapter 3 inches Theodore, the king of wizards. Immediately Urkajas, and he was not happy to see him. What do you want? The wizard asked angrily. I want my son Callum, said H.A. Promised to bring him to us after a year and a day. The wizard was silent for a moment. I can give you anything. Yeah, went beautiful clothes, a fast horse, a new fishing boat, a big house, a jewel for your wife, but let me keep your son, said the wizard. All these presents are nothing to him. And my wife said, H.H., we want our son, Kalumir. Foolish, said the clever wizard. You can do a lot of things with a new boat or a fast horse, and your wife will be happy with a big diamond. I don't want your presents, said angrily. I want my son. Oh, you're very foolish. Hamish, said the wizard, take all the presents you want, but leave your son here with me. Your son here with Meniver, cried H.H. I want my son immediately. The wizard looked at Hamish with his cold, evil eyes and started lawing. Follow me to the tower, he said. Lawing, they climbed the steps up to a dark tower. In the tower there were 14 pigeons. Now Heish, said the wizard, chooseth right pigeon, and you can have your son Callum. This fisherman will never chooseth right pigeon, thought the wizard, and his son will always bemin. Hamish walked around the tower and looked at all the pigeons carefully. Then he saw one with a tiny black feather on its head. I'll choose this pigeon with the black feather on its head. Shade. Suddenly Callum was standing in front of his father. Father, said Callum happily. The wizard was very angry and cried, get out of here any day. I'll come back. Hush. And Callum ran down the dark stairs and out of the castle. Then they ran down the hill and into Thefrest. They stopped at the old man's house in the forest and thanked him. Then they went home. Catriona was very happy when she saw H and Callum. She could not believe her eyes. Callum, my dear boy, she said, I'm very happy to see you. Thank you for bringing him home. Hamish, oh mother, said Callum, I don't want to go away anymore. I want to work here in my town now. I'm the best juggler in the world. The king of the wizards taught me a lot of magic tricks. People will Cometo see him. Callum became the town juggler and magician. The people in town always enjoyed his tricks and his juggling. His hands moved very fast and Avirian was surprised. People from his town and other towns came to see him. The children liked a lot. He became famous and made a lot of money. Now Callum and Hamish only went fishing for fun. The beautiful sailing ship with the big white sails and the golden masts never came to the port again. But on stormy nights, the people of the town told scary stories about the king of the wizards who lived in the dark castle on the hill. The voiceover in this video is given by English. 5 days copying or uploading is totally forbidden.